the eyes, they say, isn't an orifice for letting things in, it's an orifice for letting things out. And so they've said it's a bit like your skin, where you perspire, you sweat. When your body wants to release something, your tears are an equivalent. When your eyes want to clean themselves out, they tear outwards to clean themselves up. So even if you use something here, the objective is not to go in, but the objective is to come out. And so based on this, they've said, and because Nas actually says it, because it says it in Hadith, we don't challenge what's in Hadith, and we accept it wholeheartedly. As for the eardrops, the scholars have said that the eardrops break the fast. Using eardrops or using oil in the ears breaks the fast. And they've written this because they've said it is connected to both the brain and it is connected to the throat. And we've got nothing in us to say that this is allowed during the month of Ramadan. Therefore, because of its connection and because of its impacts, this would actually break the fast. As for nasal sprays, we all agree that the nasal passage is an orifice that both allows things out and allows things in. You breathe in through the nose and you breathe out, and of course it's directly connected to your throat. Therefore, if you used a nasal spray, it too would also break your fast. Vaccinations, anything which is injected into veins, anything which would go on to reach the stomach, anything which goes on to impact the brain, all of these things will actually break the fast. Therefore, if somebody is diabetic and needs to use insulin on a daily basis, he will not be able to fast unless he can use insulin at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day without affecting him. Actually, my recommendation for diabetes sufferers are, if you can't keep fasts in the month of Ramadan, don't just pay out a fidya, because Allah Almighty, in the verse I recited to you, Allah Almighty just wants you to celebrate His glory by maintaining a fast. And He's made things easy for you. And Allah Almighty said, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah Almighty doesn't want hardship for you, He wants ease for you. So for a sufferer of diabetes, my recommendation would be that perhaps in the longest days of summer, fasting is difficult. Maybe he should fast and maintain 30 fasts in the winter, in the shortest of the days, where he can use the insulin first thing in the morning at 7:30, 6 o'clock, whatever time Fajr begins, and he can then use the insulin again at 4:30, 5 o'clock, because the fast has come to an end. And I think this is better than for somebody just paying out a fidya. Of course, fidya is available for you as an option. Fidya generally is for those people who are unlikely to ever keep the fast again in their lives. So elderly people, people who are weak, people who are never going to recover. I think it would be a shame if we deprived people who are young and diabetic from keeping fasts. And we've got to do everything we possibly can to help them establish and maintain some sort of a fast. If they still can't, then the remaining fasts can be made up for by paying fidya. Local anesthetics don't break the fast. So if there's any injection, but it's a local injection. If there is any creams that you use, but they're localized creams, I'm talking about things like deep heat and the muscle rubs and so on. These muscle rubs and deep heats actually don't go on to impact the brain or don't reach the stomach. Therefore, you're okay to use these during the month of Ramadan. There is absolutely no problem with that. And of course, giving blood is not a problem at all. If you need to go for a blood test, your fast will not break. You can rest assured that you can comfortably go and give blood. If you give blood regularly and we should all donate blood as well. We should. Muslims are really lazy and really laid back and don't help out, right? But often your blood will just come back to you. It's going to come and serve you as a community, right? So usually blood matches people who are similar to you. So you should all give blood whenever you can, except that you should not excessively give blood, because in the month of Ramadan, a blood test is okay, but giving blood in the month of Ramadan would be disliked and discouraged, only because when you give blood, your body needs some sugars to regenerate, and because you're not going to be able to do that, for the same reason that you shouldn't exert yourself in the month of Ramadan, you should not give blood either.
اللهم صل وسلم